Okay.
Can you start by just telling us a little bit about the fact that you're talking about being the jobs premier, and you're coming back to a market that has led the country in unemployment for the better part of a year. How do you plan on turning that around?
Well, I think as a leader, you want to come from Windsor where you have the motivation to be focused on jobs and the economy. If there's one thing we learned coming from this city, it's that when times are tough, you've got to pull together and you've got to focus on what you want. And in this instance, it's jobs and the economy. And Windsor is but one example of what the whole of Ontario is looking for. Everywhere I go, they are talking to me about jobs and the economy. So it will not be difficult to make that the focus of the government and to ask the opposition parties to help me with this. Because if they've got their ear to the ground, they're hearing everything that I'm hearing. It's about jobs and the economy.
Did you learn anything today talking to the people outside?
I did. Actually, I know these folk, and these are people that I've been speaking with, their leadership as well as local people. Adeline and I were together not that long ago. I'm very focused on finding a way out of the current situation between the government and the teachers. What I know is students want return to extracurricular activities. You cannot have school without it. That was my history. That's certainly the history of the children and young people that I know, and we'll find a way out. I come from a collective bargaining background. It's what I believe in. It's what we will return to, and I'm keeping an open mind as to how we'll achieve that.
Sandra, Globe and Mail today said that support for you is in the lead right now. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm grateful for that. I'm a little bit surprised that the numbers yesterday were as strong as they were. I'm very pleased to get that kind of a bump up. I will say that today is going to be tougher for me because I recognize that the other candidates do come from Toronto. When it's your home base, you tend to do better, and it's a big, big city with lots of ridings there. So today will be a little bit tougher, but I'm looking forward to a really good day. Our job is to get out our vote, and that's what we're going to do.
How are your nerves right now?
Oh, you know what? All I want to do is eat. So I must be nervous.
2 weeks left. What's left? What do you think?
Well, now it's on the phone. I've got to get people to vote between now and 8 o'clock tonight, and then we're going to sit back and watch the results come in. In the meantime, I've got a full day planned tomorrow. Then the work is going to start on who is coming, who got elected, how can we get them to the convention, how can I encourage those that might have been elected on someone else's slate for another leadership candidate, in fact, to come with me. Because some of the results may surprise people and say, you know what, maybe she's the one I want to back. And then when they come to the convention floor, I want them to plan their second route, and that second ballot, I hope, will come to me.
Sandra, today we saw you work in the room a little while ago. How does it feel to be back in the game,
Yeah, I just feel like I'm with old friends here, and everyone is just terrific. I felt that for 16 years. Everyone was very good to me as a local MPP. We all knew when the chips were down, we would come together and work our way out of the difficulty. We would do it together. I'm going to bring that learning to the Ontario office of the Premier. I actually believe if you reach out to people, even when times are tough, we can figure out the solution together. It worked for me in Windsor. I'm planning to make it work for me in Toronto as well.
Do you share the optimism that's going on right now within the auto industry and how it concerns Windsor?
Well, I do, because what I'm recognizing is that the volumes are up in the automotive sector. I just don't want that to be a blip, and we don't know if it's consistent yet. We've got to get to the point where the automotive industry is waiting for the next wave of investment or change and make sure Ontario is part of that picture. My biggest worry is that Tim Hudak wants to revert to a Tennessee or Georgia or Alabama-style right-to-work state. That's what he said he's going to bring Ontario to. That will never work for the diversified, strong economy that Ontario has. That's why people need to elect me as leader, because we cannot let that happen to our province.
So is diversifying the economy here in the Windsor area a priority for you?
It is for the whole of Ontario. We have a very strong economy in multiple sectors. We just need to play to our strengths. When it comes to automotive, we may not catch the ones that would otherwise go to low-cost jurisdictions. That's not why they come to Ontario. I need to remind people that in the height of the recession, in the height of it, Ontario brought more jobs related to foreign direct investment to our province than any other jurisdiction in North America. And that's going up against Hudak's right-to-work states because they've had them in the South for a long time. That's why I need to win this. That's why I say to folks, not just in Windsor, but all over the province, we don't want a right-to-work state. We don't want the kind of state that Tennessee, Georgia, which doesn't have the diversity that we have. That's why we're doing this. That's why I'm back in the race. That's why I want to win this election.